Hello, CLAT aspirants. So you must be eagerly waiting what to do, how to do, and how to score marks in CLAT. A question which is persistently asked by each and every CLAT aspirant, that how I can get 22 plus in English. And if I have that, it is a feather in my cap, and my dream college, that is Bangalore, is of course the target, and the idea is fulfilled. So how to do that? This is what I am telling you today. There are some tidbits, some things to remember. You must have a bird's eye view on all those things and have a glimpse of everything, grasp it totally and completely so that you can understand what is to be done in this, right? Everybody ready? So here begin our strategy. Now, when we are doing this strategy here, we have to remember three important things, that how we would score. Please listen, how would we score 22 plus in English section, the strategy and the tips that are required for this. The tips and strategies are also very simple. You just have to follow them perfectly, consistently, carefully. And when you're doing that, you have to keep in mind at the back of your mind that yes, I can and I will. If this kind of an attitude is there with that positivity, of course you would clear it, isn't it? Yes? Okay, let's start with what you are supposed to do. First and foremost thing here, when you're doing the things in this time, you have to first and foremost improve your vocabulary. Now, vocabulary plays a pivotal role in your selection. If you see the word list book, that is the book here, when we have the book we are talking of, let me first turn to the slide here. That is, if we are talking of the book, that is the Module 1 of our CLAT, Module 1. When we talk of this module, in this scenario, the module which we are talking of refers to, that is word list book, Module 1 of LPT, word list. You have to do that thoroughly. Right? It is a module which includes, it's a mini dictionary. You have to follow it thoroughly, and you have to see every day, you have to revise those words, keep rotating them in your mind churning exercise. And after that, what more to do for vocabulary? We have to do word power made easy. This is the book by Norman Lewis. Start from today. Wonderful exercises. The exercises have synonyms, antonyms, idioms, quotation, everything which you will understand, and you will be able to grasp the meaning of these very, very carefully. So you have to keep this in mind, that vocabulary is something which will be a backbone, which would help you to understand the things thoroughly. When you're doing this vocabulary section, don't forget that synonyms and antonyms are something, when you're reading a passage and you're reading, Shashi Tharoor has a maudlin style of writing. Now, when you don't know maudlin, can you do that? No, not at all. Yes. So what is very, very important is that this maudlin should be just very much crystal clear, and that attitude will help you to understand. Every time we have this problem, the whole paper is in English, and a command over the language, yes, a command over the language will make you feel, yes, the paper is in my hands. Yes, it's my cup of tea. And yes, you will rise like a phoenix, and you will feel that it is child's play. Yes, these idioms are going to be there in the paper. Don't forget. And what more? What more? That is the next thing that you have to keep in mind besides vocabulary is read, read, and read. Every time the question comes, what to read, ma'am? How to read, ma'am? Now, take those, if you are, we divide this into two broad categories, in fact, three broad categories I would talk about. That is here, when I'm talking of the reading part, we have very slow readers. No problem. Everybody learns in this world. This world is meant to read. We have moderate readers, and we have avid readers, that is very fast readers. If you have slow readers, go for, that is, short stories. I have prescribed various short stories. I have prescribed the story of Oscar Wilde, that is Model Millionaire. I have prescribed you the story Mother by Somerset Maugham. I provide you the story Gift of Magi, Karma, Gift to Magi by O. Henry, Karma, which is by Khushwant Singh, and an interesting story, Growing Up, by Joyce Carey. Yes, these stories would make you feel a feather in your cap. Moving on to the moderate level, do a lot of reading for essays. Essays. What are essays? As Oxford Dictionary describes it, essay is a loose sally of the mind, an irregular, indigested piece, not a regular and orderly performance. And that is what you also have to remember, that you have to remember those essays. Yes, don't have to forget that forgetting will be adding more to your spice and flavor. This is an essay by Robert Litt. You have to do tight corners so that you are not stuck in, yes, any tight corner. You have to read Golden Age, which is by A.G. Gardner, or you have to read Francis Bacon, who says, reading makes a perfect lawyer. Yes, if you have seen the other videos of LPT where you're told about this, that is of friendship. And further, you have to also read the basic essays which talk in a satirical manner of Spider and the Bee. These things, every time it's being asked what, and the answers are all here. Slowly, gradually, you will get the crux of the matter. And moving on to avid readers, the fast readers start with novels. Novels of Jane Austen. Novels of Charles Dickens. Novels of, yes, Henry Fielding. These things are something which every person would love to. Old Man in the Sea and Animal Farm. Ma'am, should I read this, that is how to impress people, how to be an influence reader, or this or that? See, we have to remember that reading's purpose is vocabulary. If this vocabulary is not done, what is the use of reading? Because ultimately, you have to crack the paper. And when you have to crack the paper, you must not forget that vocabulary will be the only thing which will make you things easy, right? Moving to the next thing, I must see that you must have noted down each and every minute detail about it. And when we turn to something after reading, is what we have to keep in mind is the thing. Increasing your reading speed. Now, how to increase the reading speed? A question which again churns a CLAT aspirant, that what to read, and how to read quickly. Ma'am, time management and accuracy doesn't come. A question again which crops in your mind, how to solve all these questions. Now, to increase your reading speed, when you're reading an editorial section, for example, the ideal time is 7 minutes. Editorial section, the time is 5 to 7 minutes, the ideal time. So in that case, put a timer and read. Do CLAT papers with a timer. Do passage reading. 5 to 7 minutes you must allot to that as an ideal time with a timer. And this timer is going to again be a feather in your cap. When you're reading, your accuracy with reading. See, suppose you're reading very slow, but you're getting it correct. Anyhow, you have to focus on speed, because with speed and accuracy, only things would work. There is a balance of two things which has to be maintained. Accuracy plus speed is equal to CLAT. Isn't it a simple formula? A formula which will be very important for you to make you climb the ladders of success. As it is said, perseverance is the key to something which will lead you to your goal. Hard work is the key to success. Next thing, when your students are reading, increasing your speed, you have asked what vocabulary plays an important role. Reading has to be done. Basic foundation students, especially the 11th standard and the 12th standard students, shouldn't forget that this is going to be something where you would remember every time that you should not leave any stone unturned to do this. It doesn't happen in a day, but within 15-20 days, you get used to these things and you understand very carefully. After that, if we turn to, we have to remember next thing, that is time management. As I was talking of time management, how much time should I devote to English? How much is the scenario? Make a timetable. Yes, your daily timetable, which you will follow daily. This is the list of the things you would do. Make lists of things to be done. Revise your sections. Do mock tests, sectional test analysis. If you're making these lists, giving out small targets, divide your work in small chunks. That will help you to do this thing that is called time management thing. That thing is impossible, don't you think so? Because everything happens in this world. You have to give yourself small. Today I'm going to do the 5 fictional module questions, that is 5 passages. Today I'm going to do editorial section passages. Divide it in 5. We have 20 passages of fictional in our new module, that is the 6th one, editorial section. I'm going to do today 4 readings here. I'm going to give 2 hours here. This is what small little tasks mean. And these small, as you've heard again, that is small little droplets of these water make the pot filled. If we turn further to this section and we talk about it, we have to practice the main topics. What are the main topics? How do we move to those main topics? Here, if we talk of the main topics, it is inference. कहना क्या चाहते हो भाई? Yes, this is a famous tagline line, which means what is the writer trying to say? You have to infer that. Yes, you have to take out the main idea, the central thought, crux of the matter. You have to do a bit of grammar, pinch of grammar. Your verbs, questions come, prepositions. Just to of Renan Martin, you must start with. You have to do vocabulary. I've already given you 2 books for this. I have told you to choose these 2 books and do that. You have to do literary devices from, again, Renan Martin. This is prescribed by CLAT Consortium. There are questions given on it. What is simile? What is metaphor? What is the difference between antithesis, paradox, and oxymoron? How to move on it? How to do things? That is what is literary devices. Tones of the passage, we have 2 to 4, maybe 5 questions on each passage tone. What is cynical? What is the difference between cynical and critical? What is laudatory? What is commendable? What is subjective tone and what is objective tone? Please do stay tuned. We'll be coming up with more videos on what is the tones of the passage, and each passage, whether asked or not asked, take out the tone of the passage. That's your, moral duty to do so. Title of the passage, very, very important. Just ask yourself. This is a passage of Nanda Kaul, Fire on the Mountain, Anita Desai, based on stream of consciousness technique. Remember, that was given by CLAT. And then, what does the passage rotates about? What is the axis of the passage? What could be the main thought, the main argument, the title of the passage? That will be very, very important for you to understand and grasp the meaning. Very, very important. And if we turn to the consistent practice, practice makes a man perfect. It's not only an epigram, but it is something which should be remembered forever, that yes, because it's not an age-old saying, it's an adage, it's a maxim which is true to life. You have to practice daily. You have to remember this. Nothing is impossible for a man who wants to do. Yes, who wants to do. I've told you different chunks. Do the CLAT papers. No, every day. It's not that today I studied and you're studying, by fits and starts. No fits and starts. No fits and starts means irregularity is not with CLAT. It's an antonym of CLAT. Antonym of CLAT. So, every day you have to devote your time to the preparation, because this is only going to make you reach your goal. Consistency is important. 2 hours today, tomorrow nothing, then 5 hours, then one day. You have to keep yourself shining. Acumen, bright lawyers, ardent spirits. Don't forget that nothing is impossible. Only you can do it. Do the last year's papers, do the mock analysis, do the sectional test, do understand the psychology of the examiner. The questions are asked on title, central thought, main idea, inference, strengthening, weakening, paradox, boldface, assumptions, conclusions. Nothing more than that. And I can easily do it. Just remember one thing: I can and I will. Yes, I can and I will. Thank you.